Alright, so the first download that I got for this video was the song by Anita Baker called Rapture of Love, which is an absolutely beautiful song. I absolutely love Anita Baker. I have been a fan of her since I was a little girl, as well as Sade and a couple of other people. Man, I love Anita Baker. So for her song to come up, I was really happy to delve into her lyrics. And y'all need to look up this song. The lyrics to her songs this particular song is absolutely magical and beautiful. And she talks about her passion for this partner that she's in love with, and how magical it is, how passionate it is, and how she longs for this person. And so here was the question I had for Divine. Why are you sending me a song about being in love and all of the goodness that comes from it, and all of the excitement that comes from it, and the feelings of safety and security that come from being loved? And the opposite of the message is heartbreak. So, and I do have my notes down here because, like I said, I didn't want to forget anything because I did scrap the first video. Alright, so I'm just going to just be going through my notes because I want to stay on topic and I want to deliver properly. So if I look down, that's what I'm looking at my notes. Alright, so the reason why Rapture of Love by Anita Baker was given to me to match up with this video about heartbreak is to never forget how wonderful, soothing, and inspiring love is. I was like, oh my God, that is beautiful! To always remember the magic that love creates. Even though if you're watching this video because you are not feeling so magical, or you're not feeling so soothed right now because of the repercussions of your relationship, your past relationship or current relationship. It may be with a partner, it may be with family, it may be with a friend. But the whole gist of it is to remember how magical your love is, as well as others, whether it feels like that right now or not. And the other message is that this song will always help you to stay intact, stay in tune with the magic and the potency of love. I don't think we talk enough about how potent love is. Like, just the very emotion of love, just how soothing it is, and all of the different adjectives that we could use to describe love is amazing and monumental. Stay on topic. Okay, let me reel it back in. So many times we allow hurt, pain, disappointment to cover up our rawness, our authenticity, and we replace it with like a concrete shield or shelter with intentions to never feel that way again. With intentions to never allow yourself to be in love again, or to allow yourself to be vulnerable to certain people again like you were previously. And again, the message is stressing to stay magical regardless, to stay in the rhythm of love. And Anita Baker also has another song that talks about the rhythm of love, and I literally hear the background singers going, oh, oh, oh. So yes, check that song out too, because she's like, yes, love. Like, she's just like in that zone of like, like her voice just pulls you into the wonder of love. So y'all, yes, we are talking about heartbreak, but we are also talking about and venerating the magic of love, because regardless of how people treat us, love is still magical. Love is still love. Okay, reel it back in. So I also want to bring in the universal law of rhythm, which talks about everything has a flow. Things flow in, things flow out. And that things rise and things fall. And guess what? You'll be compensated for your madness. You'll be compensated for your experiences. But first, you got to do the work. First, you have to get the lessons. So this first part of the video, I do have some questions that my whole intent of this video is to offer up these questions to get you to delve deeper into why you had the experience that you had, or that you are currently having. And most importantly, to get the lesson. This is how I dealt with disappointment and heartbreak from other people. I would literally sit and ask myself questions. I allow myself to feel sad. I would allow myself to cry. I would allow myself to feel that burning anger inside of me. I allowed myself to feel. Let me turn this light down. Let me turn the light down. Can I turn the light down? No, I just turned it up. I allow myself to feel. So, okay, that's much better on my eyes. So yes, I allow myself to feel. And in me allowing myself to feel and not block off my emotions, I tapped into my logical or my crown chakra, and I started to ask myself these questions while also allowing myself to feel. So I have my crown chakra going and I have my heart chakra going, and now I'm fin to speak what I feel. Now I'm activating my throat chakra, because I also have to get into awareness of what is it about me that has me going through these experiences. And I want to say that that includes the root chakra, because the root chakra is about I am. Now you have the solar plexus and you have the, sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is about doing. And if I can remember, the solar plexus is about, I can't remember right now, but y'all can look it up. I can't remember right now. So as I'm talking to you, I am deviating a little bit from my notes because I'm also receiving messages too. So there just may be a part 2, because now that I'm breaking it down as to what I did to soothe my heartbreak and to transmute the emotions from heartbreak, I'm now seeing like how I literally use the 7 main chakras to get me through my heartbreak, to get me through the disappointment. So, ooh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff that they just showed me, like how I literally tapped into each chakra to get through the heartbreak. All right, so I was speaking about the universal law, which is the law of I just had a mind freeze. So the law of rhythm, which talks about ebb and flow, which talks about things rise and things fall, which talks about, sometimes, things flow in and sometimes things flow out of our life, and we have to surrender and allow those things to happen. It's just like being mindful of a pendulum. Pendulum swings to the left, eventually it's going to swing to the right. Pendulum swings to the right, eventually it swings to the left. And that is literally what life is about. Things will never stay the same. Things are always changing. We know this. We've been hearing this since our younger years, that things always change. They've been changing this down. So be mindful that it will be your turn again. And this time you're going to be more prepared than you were before, because you're going to do the work to get the lessons of what has happened right now to prepare you for when that pendulum flows right back to you, or comes right back to you. All right. So for my notes, this really is a homework assignment for you. My intent with this assignment is for you to go into solitude with yourself and to be assertive and proactive in your healing, and to really take advantage of the emotions that you're feeling right now. Because believe it or not, you can use any emotion to propel you forward. It's just a matter of how intentional are you. Are you going to be intentional, or are you just going to just go, this is just life? Are you just going to be very passive about it? And I've played the passive character a lot in my life, and it don't hit like you want it to hit. It don't. But being assertive and proactive and intentional, those three things, you get into the goods. You get into what you really want. All right, so these series of questions can be treated like a journal prompt. Of course, I am not looking for you to answer these questions in the comments because they are vulnerable questions. My intent is for you to ask yourself these questions in meditation and quiet time and peace. Ask yourself these questions when you're crying. Ask yourself these questions when you're reminiscing and you're playing those memories back. Ask yourself these questions when you are trying to figure out what the is going on. That's when you ask yourself these questions. So the reason why I also say that it's important to transmute these energies is because if you transmute how you feel, if you transmute the pain, the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, then you learn how to stop the cycles that lead to the heartbreak. And if you learn how to stop the cycles, the reoccurring cycles of being disappointed and experiencing heartbreak and experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing, then you can graciously move forward with ease. It'll be so much easier for you to just move through life and connect with people and interact with people. All right. One of the things that I always remind myself is that everything works for my good, and I absolutely use everything to work for me. Every experience, every word spoken to me, every action towards me, it's all for my good. I don't care what that person's intent was. It's all for my good. Absolutely all of it. Because I'm declaring that it's all for my good. All right, let's get to it. The first question is a very simple question. So don't think that all my questions gonna be simple, because they ain't. The first question is, what did I learn from the person? And some of y'all are so mad and angry at the person that you think that they aren't worthy to be a teacher in your life to teach you something. And I'm telling you, and I'm asking you that, I'm telling you they're the lesson, and I'm asking you to figure out what the lesson is. Once you become aware of the lesson, once you become available of the lesson, and you become more aware of what has happened to you, how it's happened to you, and you open yourself up to possibly having a changed perspective about how things went down, it'll help you to transmute that anger, the hurt, the confusion. And this may be unbelievable to believe, but if you allow it, it'll show you that that person really was your teacher and not your enemy. That person literally showed up in your life to teach you something. And the question, the sub question, or the second question to that is, did you get it? Did you get the message? Did you get the lesson? And yes, that person may have used any kind of low vibrational actions towards you to be the teacher that you needed at that time to get the lesson. They may have used any kind of tactics like lies, betrayal, deceit, all other things that we know occurs in human life. But did you get the message? Did you get the lesson? That's more important than what they did to you. Is did you get the message? Okay? So moving on. Second question. What that person didn't do for you, can you now do it for yourself? What that person didn't do for you, can you now do for yourself? I bear witness to a lot of people complaining about their partner for various reasons, not making time for them. The communication is whack or is off. They don't express their love for you like you would want. They don't spend time with you, or they don't spend enough time with you, or they spend more time, and they're more available to other people than to you. They disregard your boundaries, or maybe they didn't know what your boundaries were, or you feel disrespected repeatedly. Like all of these things that you were expecting your partner, your family, your friend to do, and they didn't do it. Can you now do it for yourself? Can you direct the attention that you wanted from them? Can you direct more attention on your own life and on your own self? And then what I mean by that is restructuring your life so that you feel like you're receiving more attention. Because it's easy to say, yeah, that person isn't treating me right, I'm just going to disconnect and let them go. But you still have a space within you to feel. So how you going to do it? And yes, we hear all the time, self-care, self-love. And I'm not making light of that, because a lot of times that is my message. But how we going to do that? Can we talk about the how? So I do have some ways to do that. So I was thinking, like, man, if a person's complaining about not getting enough attention and they don't like the communication or the lack of communication they're receiving, then wouldn't it be cool if they literally just started to network with other groups of people? Or they found a way to look at their interests and their hobbies, and they somehow connect with people that have like interests. Because I'm gonna tell you something, if your partner not giving you enough attention, it's because they got their group of people that have like interests with them, and they connecting with them. They share some kind of similarity in interests and hobbies and likes. So your partner has you and has these other sets of people that they balance out their attention with so that they can live a whole life. Why aren't you doing the same thing? And y'all know what I mean by this. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know that I mean by, like, when the dude got homeboys and they all watch football together. They all travel together. They all do things together that are of interest, similar interests. And then he has you because you have a different kind of similar interest with him. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that one person is never enough to satisfy your companion-like needs, that is a whole facade that it takes one person to meet my needs when it comes to love. That is a whole lie. That's a lie. Because we're such vast, multi-dimensional people that it's gonna take more than one person to get your needs met, honey. And I'm speaking on a platonic level. I'm not even talking about sexual just yet. I'm not even going there just yet. I'm just talking about just platonic wise. Like, we have so many different things about us, eclectic things about us, that it's unfair to expect one person to meet all those needs. And I'm struggling with saying the word need. It may be another word that I should be saying and not need, because when I think about need, I think about myself meeting my needs first. So just disregard, with me using the word need. I can't think of another word to replace that. But we have to get out of this thinking that it takes one person to get all of our needs, all of our emotional needs met, all of our spiritual needs met, our all of these things. That's the whole point. I think that's why there's so many damn people in the world, because we all have these different eclectic things about ourselves. Like, for instance, I'm from Chicago, but I'm divine. I'm spiritual, right? But I'm also hood. I'm hood. I get in the right environment, hood girl gonna show up. She gonna show up. But I'm also a nerd. Like, I love books. I love knowledge. I love learning. So depending upon the environment I'm in, you may get the nerdy girl, you may get the sensual girl, you may get the goddess, you may get, you know what I'm saying? There's variations to me because I'm multidimensional, and that's what I'm saying, is that you need to find ways to get your needs met through other sets of people that have similar interests as you. So we are 22 minutes in. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the third question here. Ooh, that's a good question. So the third question is, in what ways has your love for self became deeper or better? I think I want to reword that. In what ways has your self-awareness deepened? Yeah. In what ways has your self-awareness deepened? And in what ways has your self-love became better after or while you're in recovery of this heartbreak? So in what ways has your self-awareness deepened, which means that you discovered more about yourself. You discovered that you don't like this, that you do like that. You discovered, man, I am whack when it comes to communication. That wasn't all on that person. I got faults too. In what ways has your self-love increased, or has it? And I'm gonna tell you something. If you are truly being honest with yourself and your self-love has not skyrocketed or increased, or the quality of your self-love hasn't gotten better, you need to speak to a professional, a therapist, a licensed counselor, a spiritual advisor. You need to speak to someone that you deem may have the knowledge and wisdom and insight that you need, because when you are in trauma and you're coming out of trauma and you're going into recovery and your intentions is to heal, you don't want your self-love to drop. You don't want the quality of your self-love towards yourself to lessen. And a lot of times we can't do this work on our own. That's all facts. I know that the world has taught you, especially shades like me, that we strong. We got the world on our back. And that we can do it all by ourselves. But that is also another lie. It's also another facade. That we can do this all by ourselves. And that we should do it all by ourselves. That's a lie. It's a whole lie. So, if you are feeling like you don't feel good about yourself, your self-esteem is lagging, you're getting lost as to who you are, and you feel like you're losing your identity, you feel like you can't physically take care of yourself, or you feel like your mind isn't stable, your emotions are all over the place, please, you need to seek professional help and spiritual counseling or spiritual advice. I personally feel like the professional help and the spiritual help as one in alignment is the perfect way to wholeness. I feel like that you can't have one without the other. You need both. It's the same thing as physical and spiritual. It's the same thing as spiritual and science. It's having spirituality and having knowledge of the science aspects of this world. You need both to be in wholeness. So I implore you again, if you are feeling down about yourself and you just can't get over the things that have happened, how things have turned out, and if you can't switch off how you're feeling and you can't transmute it, you can't see yourself using this pain to make things better for you, you need to seek help. You do. Ain't no video that's gonna ever be created to help you. You need to get in front of a professional, get you some spiritual advising going on, and get you some help. Yeah. So we are at 27 minutes. And let me see here. This is a real good one. I think I'm going to end with this one. So the fourth question is, why did you pick this person and why did you keep them? Two different things. Two different things. You know the saying that you are what you attract? And not necessarily. You are what you keep. Because we get attracted to people all day long. People get attracted to your fineness all day long. People look at you all day long and be like, you so sexy. You so beautiful. You so pretty. That happens all the time. That doesn't mean that those aspects of that person is who I am. But if you decide to keep them, that's a whole different story. So yes, there's a difference from initial attraction and seeing the red flags, hearing the red flags, having your intuition go off like an alarm, and still choosing to keep this person. And again, digging deep is the only way to uproot the decisions as to why you continuously choose to stay in this cycle with this person. Digging deep has to do with unpacking the programming in your subconscious mind. I'm telling y'all, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of intense shadow work. And that's why I stress that you need to not do this by yourself. That you need people around you that get what's happening right now, that you can trust and confide in and be vulnerable with, because you don't want to do this kind of work by yourself. You don't want to, and I don't encourage you to. But I do encourage you to be proactive and assertive and to get started with doing the shadow work, to get started with doing the recovery of healing as you bring people in to assist you. That's what I'm saying. So, yes, this question, fourth question, why did you pick this person and why did you keep them? So, I'm going to read from my notes. It's important to unpack, where did you learn to accept certain things to deal with? Huh? Where did you learn to accept certain things? Especially things or behaviors that are detrimental to your emotions, to your mental capacity, to your spiritual well-being. You have to unpack that, because if you don't, it'll be a reoccurring program in your subconscious mind that even though you left that person, even though you ended the relationship or things ended, if you don't get into the subconscious mind to stop that programming and to recreate the programming to something to something that benefits you, then you're going to keep running into that same experience in different people. Same experience, different people. If you do not unpack why you chose this person and why you kept this person in your life, even through the red flags, even through the messages that you got from your intuition, even through other people advising you, people that you trust, even through all the messages, even through when you saw something or they did something and you felt all within you that was totally wrong and disrespectful, and you still stayed. You have to unpack it. You have to have the courage to evaluate people in your life, to evaluate yourself, so that to see if you even measure up to the things you say you want. Are you even measuring up to what you expect from other people? So yes, I'm challenging you to periodically evaluate yourself and evaluate the people in your life and see if they measure up to what you need and what you give to them. As a Libra, it is only fair for a relationship to be of equal exchange as much as possible. You don't deserve half-assedness. You don't deserve from yourself to dish it out, and you don't deserve to receive it. So this is part one. I'm definitely making a part two. Woo! I didn't know if I was gonna get through this, y'all. This was like really intense and so much. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to all of the subscribers. Thank you so much for clicking on your notification bell so that when I do post, you are notified. Thank you so much for visiting me on TikTok. My followers have increased. Thank you also for checking me out on Instagram. And also, I did open up my business to doing readings. I do intuitive tarot and oracle readings. I do have a Linktree that is open and available where you can make payment through Linktree as well as schedule time with me. Again, I thank you guys so much for blessing me with just time from you, from watching my video. I thank you so much again, and we do have a part 2 coming. If you have any feedback as to what you want me to include in part 2, make sure you leave it in the comments. It is Thursday, so happy Jupiter Day to all. I love you all so much. I wish y'all wellness. I wish you wholeness. As always, Intuitive Alchemy, where we have alchemy for your mind and magic for your heart. Have a good day. Yay! I really am like this, y'all. Like, when I'm happy, like, I celebrate. So, good day to y'all. Bye.